Well, hey everybody. If you've seen my other videos, you know I just bought this Explorer Scientific iXOS 100 HD version mount. And it's got kind of an unusual interface for controlling it because it doesn't have its own hand controller. So I'm going to do a little video showing how that works. It can be controlled by Bluetooth with different tablets, Windows, Android, and also Apple, which I don't have a tablet. I'm doing it with a computer, and I've done it on one computer already here at home, and I've done it, the software that Explorer Scientific has called Explorer Stars works only wireless, but also, I can show you here, if I zoom in a little, it has a little USB port there, and you can connect directly to your computer. In this case, it would be a Windows computer, and have an ASCOM set up, which I'm going to go over downloading that stuff too. And in my case, I'll be controlling it with software called Carte du Ciel. You can also use Stellarium and probably some others too. Let's see, as long as we got it zoomed in, you got your USB port for connecting to a computer. A little bitty button there's a reset button. There is no on-off switch for power. This is your power port. You can plug in the battery pack that they give you, or you can get your own AC adapter. Let's see, this one here goes to the declination motor. So this cable runs from there over to here to power the deck motor. Then the RA motor has internal wiring. This little antenna deal here is actually, according to the label stuck to it, you only use it if you're going to change your Wi-Fi channel. And I guess the only reason to change the Wi-Fi channel that it already has set up is if you happen to be in an area where there's a lot of Wi-Fi going on and you get interference. So now let's see here, we'll move on to the next part. So to get the Explorer Stars app, you actually do it through Microsoft if you're doing it on Windows, which is what I'm going to be doing, but it'll give me a link to click on, and it's going to take me to the Microsoft website, I believe. But you can get iOS, Android, Windows, and apparently Amazon Fire. And it also mentions is up here that there's a wireless connection issue with Windows 10. I've only tried this thing once. I did it, like I said, on a different computer, and I did it both wirelessly with it was a desktop computer, but I had a wireless network adapter and connected that way, and then also direct by wire. I didn't have any connection problem, but I was only maybe 15 feet away, and I'm indoors. And I live way out in the country, so there wasn't any other Wi-Fi traffic or anything that I know of that would cause interference. So I don't know what the issue is with that. So we'll scroll down here and it shows stuff. And I'm going to be going for the Windows app download. Okay, yeah, here's another kind of unique thing. When I download the actual application, I download it, it'll take me to the Windows App Store, but then the database of all the stars and nebula and what have you is a separate download, which you download. I believe we can do that from here. Go to the app first. Yeah, and it's taken me to the Microsoft Store. And I'll go ahead and click install and probably pause in case it drags on a long time. Okay, so it's come up here with a little Microsoft Store window. I'll click get. While it's doing that, I'll pause again. Okay, it was only a little over 3 megabytes and it's already installed it. I'll go ahead and click open. And of course, I'm not connected to the mount, so it's not going to do anything yet. And also, you notice it says data files missing. That was that download that I mentioned a minute ago about the database. So I'll minimize this and we'll go back to the correct tab here. Now we'll download the database, and when you do this, here's something I learned that's really particular about this. Usually you figure when you install any kind of database or anything, it goes into a folder within the program files of Windows. But in this case, you unzip it, the download, and place the Explorer Stars folder in your Pictures folder. So I'll have to make sure I unzip it to the right place. I'll show you that when I do it. But right now I'll go ahead and start my download. Okay, it's about 70 megabytes. I'll pause while that's happening. And then we'll unzip it to the Pictures folder. I'm going to make a new folder within there. I think I've named that correctly. If not, I'll have to change it. And select folder. And that should extract here in a moment. Okay, so now I've got an Explorer Stars folder inside of my Pictures folder. These text documents here are just very large database information ones. And then this images is just actually little screenshots, as you can see, that are within there. So hopefully you never really need to mess with them. It just has to be there so that software can find it. Now we'll open this back up. Still says it's missing. I don't know if I can, I may have to restart it. Okay, and then I'm going to keep looking into that, but once you have it installed, in order to start it up, here's a little quick start guide. It says you connect all your cables, power up your mount, and then you get over on your networks and connect to the network. I will do that once I get it connected to the computer. And I'll figure out the folder. I think I named it correctly, but I'll see what's going on with that. Then you start your Explorer Stars app, and once you start it, you can enter some information like your latitude and longitude, and you tell it what kind of mount you have. I deleted the folder out of the Pictures folder and then extracted them again just into the download folder and dragged and dropped it over. And we'll see if it finds it. It may be trying to load it. So I believe that the software was looking for the mount because I didn't have it connected. So what you'll have to do when you look for your network connections, your network ID will be PMC-8- and then it'll be 4 numbers, whatever number they happen to assign. And it's supposed to be the same password for everyone with the PMC-8. So now I'll see if I can connect. Okay, I do have a network connection. So now we'll bring up the Explorer Stars app. Let's see if we get a connection here in a second. All right. So we've successfully connected to the mount, and it's not saying anything about the database, so I got that straightened out. And there's a menu right up here, which part of it may be off of your screen there. And we'll go to settings, and if we go over here to preferences, I'm not sure what JRH is. GPS. I guess if your tablet has GPS, it can get your location. I don't have any kind of GPS. I'm just using a laptop, so it doesn't know where I'm at. I'm going to have to tell it. And you can keep logs if you want, keep some data on your alignment. So right now I'm not going to worry about my latitude and longitude. I am going to, it's already assigned me an IP address, just local address between the computer and the mount. And we'll check scope type, which I don't have the G11 and the Titan are both Laws Mandy mounts. So I've got an IXOS 100. And as you can see, when I did that, it put some information in here about the number of RA steps. So that's based on the size of the gears. And then the tracking speed for right ascension is also figured in with all that. My RA direction, it says off. I believe off means that it's northern hemisphere. I think if you go down to the southern hemisphere, you can click it to on and it'll reverse the direction. And then it tells the number of declination steps. And again, I've got this on off for declination direction. This was, I didn't change any of that. That was there by default. And then it has some information about the motor current. And I've got my mount powered on with an AC adapter, a 12-volt AC adapter. If you use the battery box they send you, you have to put 8 C batteries in it to get 12 volts. And the about's probably just, okay, gives you a version of the software, of course. Click off that. And then I'm going to tell it to go someplace here. Well, I decided maybe I should go ahead and give it an idea of where my location is. So I'm about 39 degrees north, so we just leave that as a positive number. You can make decimals if you want. I'm 87 west, so west will go minus. And that should be good. And then we'll go up here to app commands, which brings me this drop down menu. And we'll just go somewhere. We'll just pick a Messier object and let's see. M1 should be around. And so you can see when I click on it, it'll give you a description of it in a photograph. So this is all the stuff that was in your pictures folder, all this information. And here it'll let me slew to the object. If the object was not here, let's see, I know that one there should be above the horizon. Let's go to one that I doubt if, I don't think M8 would be, because that's summertime. So M8 down in Sagittarius is a summertime object, and it's January. And you can see it doesn't give me a slew to button, and that's because it's below my horizon since I told it where I'm at. So go back to M1, and then we're going to slew to it here in just a second. Alrighty, well, I've got the mount powered on, and I'm using a 12-volt AC adapter. Notice that I've got an LED on and another LED flashing. So one's for power, and I believe the other one is showing that I've got a network connection. And we'll watch this move and get a little bit of an idea how it sounds as well. So now I'll go back to my laptop and tell it to go to M1, the Crab Nebula. Right now it believes it's pointing at Polaris. Okay, so now we'll slew to the object. And I can hear the telescope moving, and I've also got a camera pointed at it, so I'll show that to you in a minute. the object is located approximately in the sky. So there's the Pleiades. Right here would be the... And here it's telling me, it's flashing icon there is saying where the object is located approximately in the sky. So there's the Pleiades. Right here would be the Hyades, and that's Aldebaran. Down here is the Orion Nebula. Well, right there's the Orion Nebula. This is the Orion constellation. And the mount's got quiet, so it should be pointing at it. And over here we've got site data. It's got my date and time in universal time, which should be Greenwich Mean Time over there in England. My local time here in Indiana. That should be local mean sidereal time or star time for the LMST. And it says I'm at latitude 39, longitude -87. This OTA data is where the telescope is pointed. So it's saying that the right ascension of the M1 Crab Nebula is at 5 hours and 34 minutes. The deck is 22 degrees. And then it's showing that relative to my horizon, the altitude is 35 degrees above the horizon. And the azimuth at 270 is saying it's quite a ways over to the west. And this TRK, that should be the tracking speed. If you remember when it showed the RA tracking speed, I believe it said 48. And then here it has the target data, the name of it. And again, it tells the location. So when you're actually moving, it should show this in motion. So we'll go to another object here. And click on that. And I'm thinking there's also another shortcut to this. I just don't remember what it is right offhand. And let's see. If we go down to like M65 and 66 over in Leo, those, I think those are around right now. We'll select that. Salute to target. I hear it moving. And here, if you notice on OTA data, the declination and the RA and the altitude and azimuth are all changing. The tracking speed's not changing. It doesn't tell me what its slewing speed is. I can still hear it making some sounds over there. I think it's centering it up. Yeah, it is. I can still see some. The declination is still moving. So the RA's already got there. Okay, there now it's quieting down. So we're there. Oh, and then over here, app bar. That's what brings this up. And I haven't messed with this much at all. I've just tested it inside the house. This is just the second time. Then we can click return to the main page, which just closes that. And let's see, we've got TR should be for tracking. Target info goes right back to our target. Should be able to do go up and down centering. Should be moving up. I can't hear it from here, but I do see the numbers changing. And go back down. So now let's say I've messed around and I've lost it. I'm going to click go to target. It should go back where it was. So I believe it made a move there. It's still fine tuning it. I thought P was for park. And park is when you're all done. It's not letting me click there. I know I'll find it because it, as I say, I'm still new with this software. All the way down here maybe. Okay, well you can sync on target. So what this is for, while I'm talking about it, is if, say when you're first setting up, you tell go to go to a target, and let's say it's either not centered or not in it. And this would particularly be like if you're on a bright star, you can center a bright star. You click sync. You do that when you're doing your alignment and stuff. I haven't tried any of that yet. So I've still got some learning to do, but this, oh look, okay, now over here, now that I've brought this up, I do have park the mount down here, so I'll click park the mount. And this should take it back to its home position, which should be with the counterweight bar straight down and the declination pointed north, so it should be pointing, well, it's approximately at the North Star, but since it goes around in a circle, Polaris might not be in a position with the counterweight bar straight down. It's probably not. But that should give you an idea of what's going on here. Well, I've been playing around with this for a few minutes since I stopped recording a little bit ago. And one thing I noticed was after I parked, which right now it's on a different target. I sent it over to M51 too, playing around while I wasn't recording. And then I just went back and parked again. And it says park up here, but it's still showing my previous target. But then target data says park, and here it's showing 0 hours and 90-degree declination. Then up here it shows ZOT at 422, so I think that has to do with being straight up and down. So I'm trying to figure all that out. If you remember, initially this had some arrows where you could manually move up and down, left and right, and what have you. And when I tried those before on my other computer, I couldn't get them to do anything. And I think that it's because I'm just doing this on a Windows computer instead of something with a touch screen. So I think if I was on a tablet, perhaps I would have been able to get them working. Maybe that's also why this isn't showing up, going back to it. I can't seem to go back and forth between this image of the target and that. And this 0 in the middle, I thought was the center of that. I'm going to play around with it again for a minute here and see if I can find anything to show you. Okay, so I just, while I had the recording paused, I closed the app down and then just reopened it. And I was still connected by way of my little application there on a Wi-Fi. You see, I come over here and click, what I can tell, nothing's happening. I don't hear anything. So I'm thinking this area here is strictly for if you have a touch screen. If I go over here, they show as active. You notice they kind of light up. These here don't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go up and see if I notice my location changing. Yes, I see my declination moving. So if you're doing it on a computer like I am, a laptop or a desktop, even though I'm doing this by wire, which is the only way you can use this particular software, I can connect the mount with a USB cable, which I'm going to do that in another video because I'm going to go through all the business of how you have to install the ASCOM software and things like that. But anyway, I think this will give you an idea of what's going on. As you can see, I've just been learning it too. You can, I'm not sure what capture target is. I don't know what that is about. Coordinates input, I think that's, you can manually enter your coordinates. You can either do it with RA and DEC, or if you don't have an equatorial mount, or if you just happen to know your altitude azimuth, you could do that. I guess if we click them away, it goes away. We'll just go ahead and click capture target. I don't know what it's going to do, if anything. I can't tell that it's doing anything. I haven't tried to align since I'm not outside, but it should just take you to star. We'll go ahead and hit 2-star alignment. We're on here. Okay, and it'll suggest a star. So in this case, it's suggesting Algol, which is in Perseus. And let's go ahead and click align to star. And it's slowing to that star. I hear it going there. And once it gets there, it tells me I need to center the target in my eyepiece and then press that sync on target button. And I'm wanting to see if this P changes to anything. Because sometimes this says P over here and sometimes it says TR. I still haven't figured out exactly what all that means. So I guess now, since I don't hear it moving, I could be using my up, down, left, right buttons to center it. And well, we've got a sync button here, and we've got a sync button there. So I guess either one works. I'm just going to go and click this sync and see what it. Okay, I gotta go sync on target. Hopefully that didn't sync on target. So now it's selecting another star. So it's telling me that Edaman, and it doesn't tell me whether or not, well, I guess it's above the horizon. It's asking me if it's visible, so you have to obviously make sure if it's, you know, not behind a house or a tree or something. I'll just go ahead and click align to this star. And I noticed that I also could have clicked a Trinix star, so I guess if one of the stars that it suggests is just not visible because of trees, buildings, whatever, you could go through a different star. So this is pretty automated. It's telling you what should be available to you as long as you've entered all your correct site data. If you've told it your correct latitude and longitude, if you have your time correct, which I'm using the time that's off of my computer, so it's automatically putting it in there. And I'll click app bar and sync on target again. And, you know, obviously I didn't recenter anything, but I'm just inside the house. And you can change your alignment, you can change your communication link, I guess, if you lose a connection. So at least for right now, I think that'll be the end of this video, unless I think of something else. So hopefully this helped you out. I'm learning as I go too. I just did a little reading in the book. This P over here in the triangle is for point mode. So after you do your alignment with your 2 or 3 stars, the mount is supposed to know if your polar alignment is inaccurate, and it's supposed to keep the object that you told it to point at centered. So what it'll do is make adjustments in both RA and declination to keep it centered. Now it says if I go to move around here, so I'll push the up button, it changes to TR, which is tracking mode. And now it's staying in tracking mode, apparently because I've moved it from my target. So I'm going to click go back to target, and it's gone back to point mode. And I haven't tried it yet, but you're supposed to be able to auto guide somehow through this software. And it says if you do auto guide, you want to keep it in tracking mode, because if you don't, the point mode will kind of fight with the auto guider and give you a little tracking error.